This is Paul. Yes. Yeah, I'm just sitting here on the street waiting for somebody to enforce my rights. I was thinking this morning as I had been sitting here that I had been the powerlifting coach at the Washington State School for the Blind. Ooh. And well, it's a school, but it's also an agency of the Washington State. Well, I was the powerlifting coach. I documented that in a couple of my drives where if you Googled my name, you could see that they allowed me to be the powerlifting coach. And we had once had this meeting where I was concerned about the learning of the actual athletes that I was training in the morning for powerlifting. So my concern was that if you do all of this lifting, right, because that's what powerlifting is, you squat and you do the bench press and you do one other exercise. I'll think about it. I think clean and lift, where you have to lift the weight over your head. Yes. You expend all the fuel in your body so that when you actually get to the classroom, you no longer have any nutrition available for your brain to learn. So I approached the dean of the school, or the registrar. What was his name? Craig Metter, right? I said, well, what we need to do is spend some of the money in the powerlifting athletic budget on giving them one of these sports bars that replenishes the nutrition and a piece of fruit so as to have some sugar in their body so that they make it to lunch. Now, some of the teachers that sat in on that meeting thought that I wanted to give them steroids. What they didn't understand is that when you're athletic in the morning before school happens, and you use up all of the available nutrients in your body, you don't have the energy for your brain to want to learn because you're actually famished and you're ending up having to sit there for 4 hours until it's lunch. Yeah. And it was interesting to me some of the reluctance on the part of educators to not understand that when you're very athletic before school, you need something in your body so that your mind can learn while you're sitting there. Now, they eventually did allow me to buy some sports bars, and they're just simple. I mean, you can buy sports nutrition bars, and you can buy them in the candy aisle. Yes. But those extra 400 or 500 calories in an apple probably caused an increase in the academics of the actual athletes that were the power lifters. And as a powerlifting coach, we did pretty well. I was happy that we did set some state records. And I did actually talk to some of the students. The Northwest Blind Association was effectively birthed from my idea with some of the students about blind students being involved in athletics. So they actually founded a charity because of my suggestion that they themselves could do some things. And I was influential on the blind students that I did train as a coach so that they could accomplish something of significance. Pooch. Now, it's not that I don't understand about teachers, I do. But I also understand a responsibility that if you're a coach, you need to be cognizant of what they have to work with in their minds after they've trained in athletics. Pooch. Now, I'm sitting here this morning thinking that somebody told the world that I was bonkers, that I didn't understand how to coach, I didn't understand how to teach. I didn't understand about sectarianism. I didn't understand. I don't have a criminal record, but I've been arrested numerous times for violating a protection order where there was no due process to myself. Now, today, somebody's telling me I've got to go to Port Townsend tomorrow so another mental health expert can decide if it's psychotropic medication, if it's a lithium product, or is it electric shock treatment to restore me to sanity when I actually did understand what I was doing as a powerlifting coach? In fact, this morning I do understand about the educational funding of the state of Washington, and every state of the United States right now. Now, did you want to remove your illegal protection order?